Hey James, are you at home right now? I just really wanted to talk to you about something if you had a quick moment to chat with me. I was just curious because I kind of wanted to talk to you about how dirty the house has been lately. Do you think that you could do something about that, please?
What? You want me to clean up the house? I can't believe that you're seriously asking me to do that. I'm pretty sure that's more your job than it is mine. Why in the world do you think I would even do something like that in the first place when I have a wife like you around to do it for me?
Well, I'm really busy with work, so I don't have time to clean the house as well. You do know how busy I am, don't you?
Oh, and you think I'm not busy? I have a job too, you know. You're not the only one who does anything around, you know.
I know that, but you know that I just tend to be busier than you, right? And it's not like I don't ever clean the house. I always make an effort to do something when I have the time. But I don't think it's fair that I should be the one doing anything around here. And so if you have some time right now, I would really appreciate it if you could help clean the house as well. I mean, you are the one making a mess all the time. You leave your clothes on the floor, don't put away dishes, leave empty cups all over the house. So I don't mind if you're going to do that, but if you could help clean up after yourself, that would be really great.
What the heck are you talking about, Rachel? You're the wife, so cleaning up the house is your job. Duh! How dare you even ask me to clean up when you should be the one doing it? Don't you have any sense in that head of yours at all?
I'm not trying to make you do anything, James. I'm only asking that you help me a little out more. I mean, I accept that I'll probably end up doing most of it anyways, but it would be really nice if you help me.
I already told you that I'm too busy with work to have time for any of that. Honestly, you think I have time to do all the housekeeping and do my job? Don't be ridiculous. If you're gonna treat me like this, then maybe I should just go and tell my mom about the kinds of things that you're saying to me.
I get that you're busy with work, James. I really do. But I'm just saying that I'm busier and I bring home more money.
Oh, there we go. The truth finally comes out. I knew that this was all about it. I work my butt off and try so hard, and it's still not enough for you because I don't make enough money. Well, excuse me.
I'm not even trying to make this about money or anything. I'm just saying that you and I both work, and I'm the only one who helps out around here. So could you please just try tidying up a little now and then? I mean, I'm really kind of reaching the limits of patience with you, James. Besides, next week is my little brother's wedding, and I have so much I need to get ready before that happens. So I just don't have time to clean right now. So please, all I'm asking is for a little bit of help around the house. Is that really so much to ask for? You really have got some nerve, young woman. Do you even realize that? Honestly, I have no idea where you even get off. I mean, are you serious? Tracy, so lovely to hear from you. I'm sorry, but I really have no idea what this could be about. Would you care to fill me in? I heard that you were going to take time off work. Is that true? Are you really going to do something like that? Because I don't remember giving you any sort of permission to do anything like that. So just who do you think you are, huh? Permission? I'm sorry, but since when do I need permission from anyone to do something like this? It's my job and my time off that I earned. So if I want to take it, I am well within my rights too. You don't really get a say in any of it. What are you talking about? I'm your mother-in-law. You should know by now that you should always run these things by me before you just go and ask for time off. I mean, did you even check to make sure that you weren't taking time off on a day when you were supposed to be cleaning? There's a schedule for the housekeeping, and if you're not going to respect that, is even the point of having it. Besides, you know that the days when you're not cleaning the house are the days that you're supposed to be going to work and earning money for us. So don't you go talking to me as if you get to make up your schedule without worrying about what anyone else has to say about it. Tracy, I'm really sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about at all. Do you really think you can tell me what to do? I mean, what is it that you are wanting from me? I want you to know that right now you're being an absolutely terrible daughter-in-law. How dare you take time off work without asking me first? You have no right to just laze about, especially not without my permission. Tracy, you're being completely unreasonable, and I really just don't think I could talk to you at all like this. But I would really like it if you quit trying to boss me around, because quite frankly, I don't care what you have to say. I'm taking time off my work, and that is that. It's already done, and I won't be changing anything. But I never gave you the permission to do that. You can't just leave work without asking me. Are you seriously still harping on about this? Besides, I know you're just taking time off of work to go back to your hometown. Isn't that right? Well, also, you forgot to ask me permission for that anyways. Are you talking about my little brother's wedding? Because if you think I'm missing that for anything, then you're dead wrong. Besides, I did invite James to come along with me, but he said he would rather have malaria than go to my brother's wedding. So anyways, I was going to just go by myself. Fine then, but if you're going to go to this wedding, then it means that on another day, you have to take James and I on vacation. Wait, what? Why? That doesn't even make any sense. If you can't do this for me, then you don't have permission to go to the wedding. Got it? Tracy, you're really not making any sense to me right now. But anyways, I'm going to take time off of work and I'm going to go to my brother's wedding, and that is all I have to say on the matter. I really don't even understand why my doing this is so upsetting you in the first place. It just doesn't make sense. Because you didn't ask me for permission for any of this beforehand. I've already told you. You need to think about the family before you go and just run off like this. I mean, how selfish can someone get? What exactly was I not thinking about before making any of these plans? I still don't get the point that you're trying to make. You really just don't get it at all, do you? I'm your mother-in-law and you're not allowed to do anything without my permission. And if you even think of trying to cross me, then it will be the end for you. Got it? Right. Well, I guess I will keep that in mind for future reference. Thank you. But anyways, like I've said, the plans are already in place. I've already gotten the time off and I'm going to my brother's wedding. So I understand that you might have some complaints about it, but that isn't going to change the fact that I'm going to go. Alright then, I see that you make your mind. But don't say that I didn't warn you. I really would just like you to leave me alone more than anything, Tracy. Anyways, I have to get back to work now, so bye, I guess. I can't believe it. I really thought that you would have woken up and found some sense beforehand, but you really did go to your brother's wedding. How in the world did my poor son end up with such a selfish, horrible woman? But that's okay, because as of today, you're finished, completely through. Hello again, Tracy. Just what in the world could you be talking about this time? Are you still under the impression that you can tell me how to live my life? Because I don't intend to just take order from you. I work a full-time job, I keep the house clean, I'm allowed to take some time for myself and my family now and then. I mean, I don't even understand the problem that you have with me taking time off just to go to my brother's wedding. How many times are you going to make me repeat myself, Rachel? I am upset because you did all of this without my permission first. There you go again, just ignoring what I'm completely saying and what I just said to you. Well, I don't care what else you have to say to me because as of now, you and James are no longer married. I decided that I don't need a daughter-in-law who isn't going to obey me like she should, and you taking time off of work was the last straw for me. Wait a second, are you telling me that you got James and I divorced? You can't really be serious about that, right? I am very serious. It's done and there's nothing you can do about it. I really just don't even know what to say to you. I mean, what is the matter with you? You really broke up your own son's marriage all because your daughter-in-law wouldn't become your slave and follow every word? I mean, me taking time off work, using my own PTO, really made you this upset? I don't even know what to think about that. I told you that I haven't given you my permission, and yet you just went ahead and did it anyways. You don't have anyone to blame but yourself this time. I warned you over and over again that the only time you shouldn't be at work is when you're at home keeping the house clean. And now you're not at work or at home, so you really left me with no choice at all to do this. You must really be one of the most selfish women that I have ever met in my entire life. But I suppose since you've already gone and sent off the divorce papers, there is really nothing at all that can be done about it now. So whatever, fine. I give up on this whole thing anyways. There's no point in trying to talk sense into you anyways. That's right, there's nothing you can do about it. I've won and you've lost, and that's it. Mwahahaha. This is what you get for running off to your little brother's wedding and ignoring what your mother-in-law has to say to you. So you don't have to bother coming home at all since you don't have a house or husband to come back to anymore. Alright then, if that's really what you want, then I won't be coming home. Good, and I never ever want to see your face again. Do you understand me? Oh, don't worry, you won't. This honestly couldn't have happened sooner. If you really want to know how I feel about it, I'll just come over tomorrow to collect my things, and then I'll be out of yours and James' lives forever. Although, I'm sure that the two of you are going to have some big change that you'll need to get used to me without there. So good luck with that. Oh, please. The only things that's going to change once you're gone is how much better our lives are finally going to be. I don't need anyone but my son, and I certainly don't need some useless woman like you hanging around and dragging him down. So you're really sure that you want to do this then? I mean, you do know that James only brings up about $600 a month, don't you? Wait, what? What do you mean? That can't be right. Anyways, I guess I need to go and call some moving companies to help me get all my things from the house. But I guess I really have to thank you for finally freeing me from that dead weight that was hanging around my neck. Rachel, are you there? Please, you have to pick up the phone. I really need to talk to you. This is an emergency. Please, pick up. I don't have anything to say to you, Tracy. Not only that, but I'm at work right now and can't talk on the phone anyway. So just what is it? What could you possibly want from me now? And don't bother calling again because I won't pick up. If you want to talk to me, you can text me. Okay then, I'll just cut straight to the point. Do you think you could come and move back in with me and James, please? Wait, what? You can't actually be serious about that, right? I know that you didn't just ask me that. I realized that I may have made a few mistakes in the past. And anyways, I realized that I said some things that were wrong, and I was just hoping that you would come back here to live with us. We can just let all that bad blood that we used to have between be water under the bridge and not worry about that anymore, okay? So please come back to us? Yeah, that is going to be a very strong no from me. Thank you for the invite, though. Wait, what? What do you mean no? How can you be rejecting this? I said please. I'm saying no because I know that the only reason you want me to move back in with you both is because you're probably really behind on bills, isn't it? But if you think that I'm going to go back just because of your personal piggy bank, you have got another thing coming. Because I want nothing to do with you ever again. I have no idea what you might be talking about at all, Rachel. No, actually, that would be... I'm the one who has no idea what you're talking about. I mean, you were the one that forged divorce papers and broke up James and I's wedding. So I have no idea what you're thinking begging me to come back to you. You're nothing to me now. You're not my mother-in-law, and you're certainly not something who I feel like I owe anything to. You told me that you never even wanted to see my face again, remember? But I didn't really mean that. I just made a mistake. But I hereby formally give you permission to come back home. Now you'll come back, won't you? I never used to give two hoots about your permission, and I certainly don't care at all about them now. But you're not going to get a single penny from me, got it? This is a problem for you and James to figure out, and I want nothing to do with it. But wait, you can't just leave us like this. I mean, you know that we don't have any money to take care of ourselves. And just whose fault is that for kicking me out of the house in the first place? You're trying to say that this is all my fault, but that isn't true. I mean, I didn't even do anything to you. Yes, you did. You got James and I divorced, and you kicked me out of the house. This is all your fault, and you need to accept that and the fact that I'm not going to help you. But I really didn't know that James made so little money. I mean, after you told me that, I asked him about it because I thought you were just trying to scare me, but then he said it was true. Then I told him that I submitted divorce papers for the two of you, and he totally freaked out on me. He's really scary all the time, and I can't just live with this. Well, that sounds to me like you are a problem, really. Please, I had no idea that you were actually paying for everything in the house this whole time. I thought it was James giving me spending money the whole time, but it was really coming from you. That's right, and it's been like that the whole time, but you just had no idea, and I doubt you would have believed it if I tried to convince you otherwise. But how could I ever guess something like that? That was really true. I would have no way of knowing. I tried to explain to you before actually, multiple times in fact. But every time I did, you just called me a jealous liar. But the fact that your son barely makes any money at all and you never bothered to ask him about it until it was too late. I didn't hide anything from you at all. You were just too dumb to do your homework before you went and kicked me out. But that isn't fair. How was I even supposed to know that was something I should have looked into in the first place? And it still doesn't change the fact that we don't have any money for ourselves. Well, I don't know what you want me to do about it. I already told you that you aren't going to get a cent from me. So don't bother asking. You were more than happy to live off my salary and use me to keep the house clean. And all the time, I never once got a word of gratitude. But I'm telling you that I had no idea about what the circumstances really were. And just whose fault is that? I thought that you were working so hard at cleaning the house because you knew that you didn't make enough money to be able to say anything against it. I really did think that James made more than you and that you were trying to get him to clean the house for you on top of that. Well, now you know that it was the exact opposite, not that it's going to change anything for you, you know? In fact, James doesn't even have a full-time job. He just works part-time anyways. Wait, what? Is that really true? That's right. So the fact that he's even making that much money is honestly a miracle given how few hours he works. Anyways, I don't really see the point in carrying on this conversation any further. I've told you all that you need to know. And nothing you say is ever going to make me change my mind in a million years. So you and James can have a good time figuring this out amongst yourself. Just leave me out of it. After that, I heard that the bills continued to pile up for Tracy and James, and that soon they couldn't even afford to make payments on the house anymore and they were kicked out. James was still furious at his mom and blamed what was happening all on her. He even stole what little money she had in her savings and ran off. Tracy had no choice but to go back to her hometown and beg her relatives to let her live with them. Except it was while Tracy was staying with her relatives that they learned that James had taken out some huge loans in her name before he ran off and disappeared. So not only did Tracy have every last penny stolen from her by her son, but he even took money from her that she didn't even have. I heard that when Tracy realized how she had been betrayed by her son and just how little James actually cared for her, that she fell into a deep depression and hardly even left the house. The debt problem was eventually cleared up because of the fraudulent nature of it. But even so, I don't think the damage it did to Tracy's heart ever recovered. As for James, I have no idea where he is right now. He fell off the map and is wanted for identity theft in connection to what he did to his mom. But whether he's been caught or is still on the run, whether he settled down and found a real job or is still a bum leeching of others, I just really have no clue at all. All I do know is that I'm glad to get rid of both of them and get on with my life without them. It was somewhat hard adjusting to being single after I went to my brother's wedding, but I talked to my family and they agreed to let me stay with them a while, until I searched for a new place to live in. When I found one, I thanked my family and moved out. Now I'm able to concentrate on my work and on myself without people in my life expecting me to do everything for them. Whoa, Yolanda, what's your deal? Do you seriously just have no shame or something? I honestly want you to know, how can you live with yourself the way that you are? It is honestly just shocking to me and I don't understand it at all. Sorry, Brittany, but what exactly are you talking about? What exactly are you saying that I should be ashamed of? I'm not sure that I'm really following what you're trying to get at it. I mean, your whole existence. That's what you should be embarrassed about. Do you really not see what I'm talking about at all? Let's look at some face. You're a housewife who lives with people she's not related to and just leeches off their goodwill. How does it feel to have that to be your life? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? I really don't think that I could ever live with myself if that was my life. I mean, what kind of person would ever think that it's okay to live the way that you are? It really is just said, you know? Brittany, what in the world are you talking about? I seriously don't understand where you're getting off. First of all, I'm not just a housewife, as you said. I'm literally staying at home to take care of your mother who needs a live-in nurse. And the only reason that I'm doing this is because my husband, your brother, asked me to quit my job and do this. So do you still think that I should be embarrassed about what I do for a living? Oh, please, enough with those pathetic excuses. I don't even want to hear them from you. You really think that you can be a good person if you don't even have a job? All you do is laze around someone else's house while you use up all of your money? Even just thinking about the way you abuse my family like that just makes me sick. Abuse your family? Did you seriously just say that? How on earth am I being abusive at all? You have no idea what you're talking about. I'm talking about financial abuse. I know that you're just using up all my parents' money with the way that you're living, and you really thought that no one would notice. Or maybe you just thought that no one would care, but everyone knows that all you are is a parasite. It sounds to me like you're just deciding for yourself what I am and what I'm not. But I can assure you that I'm hardly a housewife, and if you think that my life is so easy, then why don't you try living here and taking care of your mom full-time? And then I can go out and get a job, and I promise you that I won't ever call you the kinds of things that you call me. You wish it was that simple as trading places. But unlike you, I'm someone with actual skills, and I have better things to do than waste my time at home. Skills? You really think that I'm doing this because I can't find a job or something? You seriously need to grow up if you think that's the case. I literally quit my career to move in and take care of your mom full-time, and you have the nerve to tell me that I'm not fit to work? Just where do you get off when saying that someone else does, huh? You have got a real chip on your shoulder. Oh, but I'm not the only one that's saying these things, you know. My brother feels exactly the same way as I do. I'm sure of it. Wait a second, you mean that even Dean feels this way? That's right, even your own husband thinks that you're utterly useless. How does it feel to know that, Yolanda? I bet it hurts, doesn't it? But if you really don't believe me, then why don't you go and try asking him yourself? Maybe I will go and do just that. Thank you very much. Hey Dean, are you there? You and I have some serious talking to do. I just heard from your sister that you and her both looked down on me behind my back. I know that Britt did it, but do you really think that too? She was telling me how embarrassing it was that I was a housewife and that you were embarrassed of me too. I tried telling her that you were the one that asked me to quit my job and do this in the first place, but she just wouldn't listen.
Hahaha, wait, what? Is our stupid little slave really trying to ask if I ever had any faith in her to do anything else? I don't remember giving you permission to ask me these kinds of stupid questions. But if you must know, you're taking care of my mom because there's nothing else that you're good for.
Wait, what? Dean, you can't be serious about this, right? Did you honestly forget that you were the one that asked me to do this? I mean, I can't believe that your sister was right. You're both just horrible. But if you think that you can get away with treating me like this, then you must be an even bigger idiot than Britt.
The only idiot here is you stupid moron.
I don't understand what's gotten into you, Dean. You told me that if anyone asked questions about why I had quit my job, that you would explain I was doing this for your family. But instead, you just turn around and make fun of me alongside your sister? I mean, I'm literally taking care of your sick mother. Does that not mean anything to you either?
Oh please, you think you're so amazing just because you're taking care of my dear old mom? What do you want, a medal or something?
I don't believe this. I literally can't believe that you're treating me this way. It's just absurd.
Well, my sister was dead on about you. All you do is hang around the house doing nothing while you pretend like you're so busy always looking after my mom. Meanwhile, all you're really doing is using up my family's money. Money that should be left for us, their kids. But instead, you just relax all day and don't have to worry about a thing.
I don't even know how to respond to that. I had no idea that you felt this way about me whatsoever. I mean, why did you even ask me to do this in the first place?
Of course I feel this way about you. I've always felt this way about you. But I don't see why it's worth getting upset about it when I'm only telling the truth. You aren't good enough to do anything but stay at home all day. And while you're doing that, you're just using up my parents' money and taking it easy.
Oh, really? You think that I'm not working at all? You think that this is so easy? Then why don't you try it and I'll go back to my job?
Get real. You couldn't find a job no matter how hard you tried. And unlike you, I have duties and responsibilities to my company. I can't just quit to take care of some old bat. That is obviously way more suited to you since there's really nothing else that you'd be good for anyways.
You're so far up your own butt, you can probably see the sunshine out of your mouth. You literally asked me to quit my job to take care of your mom. And I've been. And every single day comes with new challenges and difficulties, and I can't believe you're treating me like this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's so hard feeding my mom applesauce for lunch, or whatever it is that you really do all day. I'm sure that life is just so difficult for you being home all day. I mean, you don't even have a job. What do you actually do while the rest of us are out there in the real world working?
What is the matter with you, Dean? Are you trying to make me upset? Do you want a divorce or something? Is that what you're getting at here?
Well, I certainly wouldn't be opposed to getting one. I can tell you that much.
You're really serious about that, aren't you? Whoa, Whoa.
In fact, since all you're doing is eating away at Britt and I's inheritance, I don't really think that our family even needs you anymore. You're a useless woman, and even more, useless wife.
Oh really? You think that I'm totally useless around the house? Why don't you go and ask your mom if she agrees with that?
And just why in the world do you think I would care about what that old bat has to say? I'm doing plenty for her right now with my salary. She doesn't need you, and she probably doesn't even realize the way that you've been taking advantage of her this whole time.
So you and your sister really think that I'm nothing better than a parasite on your family?
We don't think that. We know it. It's been obvious and you know it too. So quit playing dumb. You really think that you get to have the run of the house just because you nurse my mother? You're a housewife, and a useless one at that, and nothing more. And now that my sister and I are both on the same page about you, it's clear that I have no other choice at all but to divorce you.
And then if you really want to do this, let's do this then. I'll be happy to leave if it meant that I'll get rid of you and your sister.
Finally, we'll finally be free. All the years of having to support you and the months of having you lounge around the house, it's all finally going to end.
I don't even know how to start with that one. I mean, wow. You and your sister are just delusional, and I can't get out of this situation fast enough. Have a nice life. Or don't. I really don't care. I've already gotten the divorce papers ready here, and I've signed them. They'll be waiting for you on the table when you get back home.
Wait, you already have the divorce papers ready to go? Well, aren't you misprepared?
That's right, but now that this is happening, it can't happen fast enough. If you think I'm a parasite, then fine. I'll happily leave from where I'm not wanted, and it's clear that you're sick of having to support me since I'm so useless. So let's just end this whole thing and be done with each other forever.
Yolanda, are you there? Please, you have to pick up the phone. This is really, really serious. I'm begging you here.
What is it? What do you want? Whatever it is, you can just text it here. Because I don't have time to call, nor do I want to hear your voice.
Please, things are going really badly here. You have to come back and help us. You're the only person we can turn to.
Can you quit freaking out in your messages and just tell me what is it that you want? I mean, you've got some nerve even coming to ask me for help after the way that you've treated me. Not only did you basically force me to quit my job to take care of your mom, but then you and your sister both were constantly putting me down for doing the thing that you asked me to do. I'm sorry, but I really just don't want to say anything. Or do anything to do with you. Ever again. Actually, I'm not sorry about that at all.
No, please. You don't understand. Ever since you left, My mom has been asking my sister and I which one of us is going to take care of her now. Britt and I have been fighting ever since you left, and things are getting really bad here. You have to come back and help us.
Really? Is that what's happening? Well, I say it serves you two both right to have that to happen. But you were the ones who chased me out of the house, so I'm not going to come back. If you're really so upset about this, though, you can always just pay for a live-in nurse to take care of your mom. Of course, I have no idea how you'll be able to afford something like that, but it is an idea. But you are out of your mind if you think that you can come back to me and ask me to go back to what I was doing, because that is simply not going to happen.
Well, the thing is that Britt tried doing the nursing for a little bit. She actually quit her job because she thought that was going to be so easy, kind of like how you had it. But after 2 days of taking care of my mom, she had enough and was demanding that I do it instead. But I told her that there was no way I was going to do it, and that we should just look into a nursing service. But then my mom started complaining about how she only wanted someone she knew to be there taking care of her. And we don't know any nurses or people looking to do that kind of work, and people are getting so mad at each other. And my dad ended up throwing me out of the house over this. That's how bad things have gotten without you here to look after my mom.
So basically, it sounds to me like you're just paying for the mistake of throwing me out of the house. If you don't think any further ahead of what you all were doing to do once I was gone, then that is entirely on you, Dean. I mean, what's your plan for taking care of your mom if I wasn't there?
But You mean, you knew this was going to happen?
I figured that you probably put zero thought into this, and weren't thinking at all when you said that you wanted a divorce. I was wondering if you already had someone in mind who could take care of your mom. But it's clear to me now that you have no idea what you're doing. But this is what you get for acting like such an idiot. You really thought everything was just going to fall into place after you chased me out of the house? You know that I never even wanted to quit my job, but you gave me no other choice. You guilted me into doing it because you told me you had nobody else you could ask to take care of your mom. And then you divorced me and chased me out of the house, and you still haven't found anyone else?
Okay. I get it. I messed up, and I'm really sorry about that, okay? But can you please just come back? I need you here. We all need you here.
Well, I'm afraid that it's not quite simple, Dean.
What is that supposed to mean? What isn't that simple? Are you really not going to come back?
I mean that I have other things going on in my life, and I don't have time to come up and clean your messes.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. My parents told me something really strange, and I need you to come back here so we can fix all of this. My parents told me that they were going to leave everything in their will to you. Isn't that nuts? You have to come back here and tell them they're crazy.
Oh, that, yeah. I already knew all about that. Your dad reached out to me to let me know about it.
Wait, my dad already told you about all of this? Are you kidding me? So then, that means they were really serious about that. I don't believe it! How can they betray their own children like this to someone who isn't even part of the family?
I think I proved myself to be a greater part of the family to your parents in the time that I was there with your mom than you or your sister ever did.
But that still isn't fair. Why should you get what should rightfully be Britt and I's? I hate it. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know why you're asking that to me when the decision is entirely up to your dad. I didn't have anything to do with this at all.
Well, whatever. We can figure this out later. But you just need to come back here right away because there is a lot of work for you to do back home. The whole place is a mess without you.
And you think that I'm just going to come back running and clean up all your kisses for you? You can count me out.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I'm going to ignore every single request that make of me. And you want to know why? It's because we're divorced. I'm not your wife. You're not my husband, and I don't owe you anything.
Hold on a second. You can't be serious, right? Come on, you're just being totally ridiculous. I mean, I'll even let you live with us again.
You mean that you wanted me to come back and fix all your problems, and you weren't even going to let me live there? Not that I would even want that in the first place. The answer is still no. I mean, the whole time that I was staying at home to take care of your mom, and you and your sister put me down as leech. But now you realize that without me, the whole house and your lives are falling apart. You did this to yourself, and I'm not going to help you out of this one.
Please, I'm really sorry. You're right. You're not a leech, and we need you. I realize that now.
Well, I'm glad that you do, but it's far too late for me to do anything about it for you both right now. You and I are over. So you and Britt can just keep fighting over who should be taking care of your mom.
But we can't. At this rate, this is going to tear us apart. Please, my dad is already so mad at me. And my mom is sad too. I'm sad. How could they do this to their own son? And all because you're not here? It isn't fair.
It sounds to me like you just can't face up to the consequences of your actions, Dean.
No, it's not that at all. But even my dad said I'm useless as a son.
Well, I have to say that I strongly agree with your dad on that one.
But it isn't true. I work so hard at my job every day. I'm not useless.
Dean, I can't remember the last time that you paid for anything in the house. You've been even nothing but selfish, and your dad is right to put you down like that. You thought that I was a leech, but you've been the one expecting everyone else to do your work and pay for everything for you.
You don't really feel that way, do you? Because it isn't true and it's not fair. Please, what can I do to make you come back to us? I don't know how we're supposed to carry on at this rate.
You still haven't given him a single good reason why I should do anything for you or your family. I sacrificed so much for you, and I got nothing but insults and condescension in return. You threw me out of the house, and now the same thing is happening to you, and I say good. I don't know or care what it is that you'll think of doing next, but just leave me out of it.
But what about my inheritance? You can't just take that away from me. Hey, why aren't you responding? You can't just leave me like this. You have to help me.
After that, I heard that even Brittany was kicked out of the house and that their parents moved into a nursing home. They even invited me over to see it one day. And we were able to catch up a bit. I felt bad for leaving Dean's mom in that position, but I felt like I had already done enough. I told them both that they didn't need to give me anything and that they should save their money for the nursing home. As for Dean and Brittany, I didn't even bother to ask what they were up to because the less I know, the better. As for me, after moving out, I went to go and live with my own parents for a little bit. I explained to them what happened and they were happy to let me stay with them until I found a new job. It wasn't long after that it happened and I was able to move out. It took me some time to get used to living on my own and working full-time again, but it was the most fulfilling that I had done in months. Although it's also strange getting used to the single life, I have to say that I prefer it far more than being married to Dean.